ॐ विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिर्बोधभूतं यथा निद्रया यस्साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्रचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यभिमः योगी वयस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्तिः 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 सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैः स्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो हरिष्ठनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु ॐ शान्तिः 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 14th Karika. स्वप्ननिद्रायुतावाद्यौ प्राज्ञस्त्वस्वप्ननिद्रया न निद्रां नैव च स्वप्नं च तुर्ये पश्यन्ति निश्चिताः. And in Bhashyam, page number 59, in Bhashyam it is said in a second line, na ubhayam pashyanti turiye nishchitaha brahmavidah viruddhatvat savitari iva tamaha. So in this 14th Karika, so a comparative study of the four padas is presented, which is very, very similar to Karika number 11. There it is a Karya Karana Baddhautau Vishwataijasau, etc. etc. Here it is Swapna Nidra Yutau Adyau, etc. Prajna Swapnastha Nidraya. So there is Karya Karana Baddhau. Here Swapna Nidra Yutau. Same thing. So words are different. But anyway, it will make our understanding very, very clear. Generally for Mandukya it has been said that they don't accept there is a really a waking state. It is, in a way it is true that everyone is basically, this waking state is equal to Swapna. So for dream we have two states. For as per Mandukya, our dream also is a dream, waking also is a dream. And Nidra of course is Nidra. Anyway, so in Vishwa and Taijasa, the waker and dreamer, self-ignorance is there, misconception is there. In the form of a Jiva Bhava, that's a misconception. I am a Jiva, I am individual bound by karmas, I am an individual subject to birth, death, I am an individual subject to karma, I am individual subject to likes, dislikes, subject to prarabdha, subject to guilt, hurt. Well, I am karta, bhokta. All these are misconceptions born of nidra, that is ignorance. And misconception means swapna. And ignorance means nidra. So that's how it has been said. Or other words, we have seen that. Either you say karya and karana. Ignorance is karana. Misconception, adhyasa is a karya. So Jiva Bhava is basically looks very, very real, because we don't know who am I, and therefore this misconception, even though it is misconception when you know really speaking what is the reality, otherwise there is no misconception, right? So adhyasa word has a significance when you know this adhishthana, then this certain thing becomes a adhyasa. Knowing Rajju, Sarpa is adhyasa, otherwise not. Sarpa is real. Same way, everyone who is born in this world say I am a jiva only. That is the final reality. People who study Vedanta, they know this jiva bhava, the sense of individuality, either as a waker or dreamer. Well, definitely that is, that's a adhyasa only. That's not real. Adhyasa being unreal. Mithya. So anirvachaniya you can say also. Anirvachaniya. I am jiva. Well, I am not. I am not jiva. Then, but I experience it right now that I am a jiva. I am waker, I know, I am contacting the waking world. Who can deny it? Everyone experiences it, and therefore I am not jiva. You say that is not correct. Okay, I am jiva, that is correct. If I am jiva, that is correct, then jiva bhava goes away also in a deep sleep state every day. Then if jiva bhava is a reality, then how can it go away? Right? Jiva bhava goes away and still I remain. Therefore, I cannot call myself as a jiva. Therefore, I am not jiva. But then I experience that I am a jiva in a waking state, in a dream state. How can you say you are not jiva? Anirvachaniya. So it is. Experientially there, in reality not there, etc. So the dreamer also looks upon himself as an individual jiva, etc. Of course, dreamer doesn't say I am a dreamer. Dreamer doesn't, right? But he looks upon himself as an individual jiva. That's everyone's experience, that a individual only experiences a dream world, different from the dream world, and therefore it is a jiva only. And this self-misconception in the form of a jiva bhava is because of the self-ignorance. So misconception always coexists with the ignorance. Misconception always coexists with the ignorance. So Vishwa also has a both, and Tejasa also has a both. Both means what? Misconception, ignorance. Misconception, ignorance. And this ignorance was called Karanam. Misconception is Karya in a 11th Karika. Same ignorance, the Karana of the 11th Karika is called Nidra here in the 14th Karika. So Karanam of 11 and Nidra of 14 are same thing. Both refer to self-ignorance. And self-misconception, Jiva Bhava, is referred to as a Karya in 11th Karika and is referred in 14th Karika as Swapna. The Karyam of 11th, Swapna of the 14th are same thing. Or you can say Jiva Bhava also. So anyway, so from this we get a general rule that misconception is always along with the ignorance. Karya can never be correct, is always non-separate from the Karana that we know very well, and therefore misconception is always along with the ignorance. But you cannot say ignorance is always with the misconception, need not be. Because Vishwa and Tejasa, ignorance is with the misconception, whereas in Prajna, misconception is not there, but ignorance is there. Definitely, between Karana and Karya, Karana can exist independently. Karya cannot exist independently. And therefore, ignorance being a Karana, it can be without even misconception called Karya. But Karyam is always with the Karana. Karyam is non-separate from the Karana. And therefore, Prajna is associated with Nidra in the 14th Karika. Prajna is associated with the Karana in the 11th Karika. Karya Karana Baddhau Tau. So Vishwa Tejasa are Karya Karana Baddhau. Whereas Prajna is Karana Baddha. What about Turiya? Well, That's what we are seeing now, right now. No bhayam pashyanti turiye nishchitaha brahmavidah. That's what Bhashyakara says. So, nishchitaha turiye nidram na pashyanti, swapnam na pashyanti. So, nishchitaha means brahmavidah. Nishchitaha means who has ascertained the self, the nature of the self. So, that is brahmavidah, atmavidah, etc. Turiya vidah, you can say. So, in Turiya, this the knower of Brahman, knower of the selves, no bhayam pashyanti. They don't see this karya karana. They don't see ignorance. They don't see even adhyasa. They don't see karana karya. They don't see nidra. They don't see swapna, etc. Ubhayam means neither ignorance nor misconception. Na pashyanti. They don't see that. Means they don't see means what? Means they see them as a mithya. That's it. Means they experience them. But they don't give reality because they know that I am the reality of both. And this is how this is how the whole prakriya of adhyaropavada. Adhyaropa means adhyasa. And apavada means negation. Negation means seeing mithyatvam. Don't see here says, means seeing mithyatvam of that. That's what it is. And this apavada, the negation, has a you can take 4 steps. That's discussed in Vedanta Sara, which of course I took it in the morning. And entire Vedanta Sara is Adhyaropa Apavada. The first 3 chapters Adhyaropa. Like Jiva and Ishvara Adhyaropa. Then second chapter is Ishvara Srushti. If Ishvara is Adhyaropa, then well definitely Ishvara Srushti is Adhyaropa upon same Brahman. And then third chapter is a Jiva Srushti. Again Adhyaropa. Adhyaropa upon Adhyaropa. Upon Ishvara Srushti, which is Adhyaropa, Jiva well does a Srushti. Depending upon, because the samskaras are there from beginningless time. And those samskaras are born of definitely different experiences in different lives. And from there is always a something good, bad, etc. Because ignorance of oneself is there. And therefore, what is adhyasa is taken as a real, and therefore there will be always likes and dislikes and etc. And so that is Jiva Srushti, and that creates a samsara. So these 3 chapters are of Adhyaropa. And the last chapter, 4th, is Apavada. In that 4 steps, in Apavada there are 4 steps. Since every Adhyaropa is always a mixture of what true and false, Satya Mithya, right? Mixture of Satyam and Mithya, naturally. So, therefore, like pot, you say Adhyaropa, that's correct. So, means what? The clay which is real and this name and form which is Mithya. That's a mixture that you call pot, Adhyaropa. So, pot is basically Adhyaropa. Pot is a superimposition upon clay. Means Satya Mithya mixture. So there it is said in Vedanta Sara that Apavada is 4 steps, 4 factors you can take. First thing is segregating what is Satyam, what is Mithya from the mixture, right? Understanding Satyam as Satyam, Mithya as a Mithya. There it has been an example of a Rajju Sarpa only in Vedanta Sara. Understanding Rajju as Satyam and snake as a Mithya. Okay. That's the first step of Apavada. The second step is what? Well, what is Mithya? Definitely we should not count. So whatever the reality and the importance was there, right, in state of ignorance, now you have understood, now you got the knowledge of the rope. Then Sarpa becomes Mithya, that's the first step. Viveka you have done. Then the second step, the reality of the Sarpa, importance of Sarpa, right, creating a lot of fear. So that importance also will go, understanding Mithya, that's the second step. What is Mithya will lose its importance. That's the second step of Apavada. Third step is what? Resolving the Mithya into What is Satyam? Resolve the Sarpa into rope. Now it has become less important, so resolve. You won't find independent of rope. Therefore, resolve the whole snake into rope. All cognitive, nothing outside, because there are no two things. Not with the help of the rope, with the help of any stick, I'm sorry. You merge snake into rope. Uh, Nothing. You insert snake into rope, trying to make one. No, it's all purely cognitive. Why cognitive? Because the whole issue from the ignorance. Anyway, so third step is resolving mithya into what is real. Fourth step is what? There is nothing other than Advaita Nishchaya. This is how it is. So same way we can understand here also. So basically all that is there is Turiya, right? Understanding the Dhyasa, Vishwataijasa, and even Nidra, ignorance, that is Prajna, all the three are resolved in Turiya. Ultimately, understanding them as a Mithya, you can take that way, and then definitely they lose importance. They remain just at that level of experience. They remain at the level of experience. They don't enjoy any other reality. So from your mind, otherwise waking state is has a lot of gravity on waker. So much of our reactions in the waking state, right? All our emotional issues in the waking state. Those problems are not there in a dream state, in a deep sleep state. So that shows that waking state has a lot of gravity. Why? Because I am a waker, right? And therefore now you understand the waking state both is Atma's first quarter, means you understand that they are mithya, and therefore they lose importance, the waker and the waking world both. And then losing importance is the second step of Vada. And third step is resolving them into Turiya. They can't exist independent of them, but they are open only. Therefore, you resolve them, waker and waking, both resolving. That's how Nanta Prajnam, na Mahish Prajnam. Therefore, you resolve. And all that is there is one. Turiya, Advaitam. Shantam, Shivam, Advaitam. So, Turiye na Pashyanti. In Turiya, you don't see all this. Neither Vishwataijasa, neither Prajna, neither Karana, neither Karya, neither Karana, neither Sapna, neither Nidra. That's how it is said. Turiye Ubhayam na Pashyanti. So, knowing them as a mithya. So, why ignorance is not there in Turiyam? Well, just as Yatha Savitari Tamaha, the same example. Just as in the Surya, in the sun, darkness cannot exist. Same way in a Chaitanyam, the consciousness, Ajnanam, which is Chaitanyam is Jnana Swarup. There Ajnanam cannot exist. Ajnanam can exist as a mithya. That is there. Means definitely Ajnanam exists. You say Ajnanam doesn't exist, yeah, but not as the same order of reality. Now, after that we say Ajnanam is mithya. You experience ignorance in consciousness only. As a conscious being you say there is ignorance, etc. Or I am ignorant, you say. Whatever. So you definitely experience ignorance, but that is experiential existence. That's what. Without consciousness you can't exist. Ignorance can't exist. And therefore, you cannot prove existence of ignorance. And therefore, ignorance as a mithya entity can exist. Less real, it can definitely exist. But not as the same order of reality. All that is, there is one Turiya only. So, this Brahmavidaya, this knower of Brahman, knower of the self, they do not see even ignorance. They do not see, means they understand the Ajnanam as a mithya entity. And definitely then Adhyasa, which is the Karya of even ignorance, is also mithya. Therefore Vishwataijasa also is mithya, Prajna is mithya, definitely Karanabadha, so that is also mithya. And all these three you can resolve into what? Turiya, naturally. So Vishwa is Turiya, Prajna is Turiya, Tejasa is Turiya. All that is there is one Turiya. Advaita. Okay. And Bhashakara further says, Ataha na karya karana baddha iti uktaha turiyaha. So Shankaracharya ji again is connecting. Now he has brought that word karya karana. So he is referring again to the 11th Karika. Here there is no karya karana word at all. Nidra and Sapna. Sapna and Nidra is there. So he is again referring to karya karana, means equating Sapna with the karya and Nidra with the karana. So in the 14th Karika is said that Turiyam is free from Nidra and Sapna, whereas in the 11th Karika Turiyam is said to be free from Karana and Karya. So Ataha means therefore. Therefore means what? Nidra being the cause and Sapna being a Karya. Turiya, basically the fourth one, is the Karya Karana Baddha. You continue to experience the Karya. Continue to experience the way that you are waker, and you are experiencing waking world also. You continue to experience, even you will have an experience, a Jnani will have an experience of a dream also. Dreamer as a dreamer, naturally. When he experiences dream world, he definitely is a dreamer. And therefore, this experience continue. But he knows this is all just a magic going on, etc. And even Prajna also, just ignorance, right? Karanabaddha. Prajna is Karanabaddha. Well, that's I, Turiya, alone with this ignorance upadhi is appearing as a Prajna. Therefore, Prajna is also just Turiya only. So, even though you have a deep sleep state also, and definitely you experience blankness and all that, so you will say also, I slept well and all that. Definitely that is also mithya. So neither basically, so Turiya, the fourth pada, is na karya karana baddha, is neither associated with the real karya or real karana. You can say that way. Iti ukta, that has been said where? 11th. Because karya karana word is not here, so it is there. So iti ukta, in a 11th Karika, that is the Turiya. Let's go to Karika number 15. Bhashakara introduces here, in the fourth line you can see on the page 59, Kada Turiye Nishchitaha Bhavati iti uchyate. That's an introduction, Bhashakara's introduction for this 15th Karika. And let's read 15th Karika also. Anyatha grannata sapnaha nidra tattvamajanataha viparyase tayo kshine turiyam padamashnute. So, let's see first that introductory bhashyam. Kada means when. Kada turiye nishchito bhavati. When does a seeker becomes convinced about Turiya Vishay. With regards to Turiya, the spiritual seeker, the sadhaka, when kada nishchitaha, when will he ascertain this such a nature of Turiya? When will he get convinced about Turiya, that it is free from ignorance and adhyasa, it is free from karya and karana, it is free from nidra and sapna? When will he ascertain that? When we get the clear knowledge of Turiya. And what will be the answer? Simple. Turiya is defined as what? Which is free from ignorance and misconception. So as long as I have ignorance and misconception, I will be either a Vishwa or Tejasa or Prajna. So I will definitely, my introduction will remain like this only. Right now, if somebody asks you, will say, I am a baker. Then you may not say, but you will say you are a dreamer when you have a dream experience. And if both of them are not, they are just karana, nidra is there. So you will say, well, I am a deep sleeper only. At that moment you may not say, but when you wake up you say, well, yes, I was a deep sleeper, you can say. Therefore, unless you do an analysis, till then you will either your introduction is either of the three only, not all the three together, because they are all mutually exclusive experiences. That itself proves mithyatvam, but anyway. And it also proves that there must be a basis on which this experiences takes place, right? Yeah. But how can you say there must be a basis? Because there is one I which is there in all. So I am weak, I slept and I dreamt and I only, that same I is a waker. When you say that I has definitely, if it is present in all the three states, exclusive of the waker, dreamer and deep sleeper, if another I is there which is says I alone had that three states of experiences, then that I has nothing to do with any state. In fact, that I has nothing to do with the time itself. All experiences are time-bound experiences. If it exists in all the three periods, to say, it is not good to say in all the three periods, but let's say that right now. If that I exists in all the three states of experiences which are time-bound, if that I exists, therefore that I is free from free from any effect of the time. And also the better argument is that even though that I is there in all the three states of time, that I remains changeless. Yeah. So unlike a waker, unlike a dreamer, they undergoes change naturally. Deep sleeper also undergoes change, he becomes waker. Waker becomes dreamer, and in waking also we know that it is undergoing change. All that. So therefore, definitely if that I is in the three states, periods of time, when you say therefore it is timeless, no, it's not better argument, honestly. I am changeless, right? I am changeless in all the three states of time, three states of experiences. Then that must be timeless. Anything which is changeless is timeless. That's how I am immortal being. And also, science can help us here. We independently also do. What is timeless also is spaceless. Yeah. What is timeless is spaceless, right? So you are all pervading, including space, time, everything. You pervade the time. Time doesn't pervade you, otherwise time will bring a change in you. So you pervade the space. Space doesn't pervade you. If space pervades you, then that I will have a location, will be a limited entity. What is limited in space will be limited in time. Then it will have a change. But if I am changeless, then definitely I am timeless, spaceless. Specially limitless, time-wise limitless, if you want to say. And therefore, definitely I am Brahman. So this is how, whole thing is like our Maggi noodles kind of thing. You start taking one, then you can take whole Kutasthana, everything you can bring, Nityam, Kutasthana, and free from Nirvikara, this, that, etc., everything. And also, of course, consciousness, being consciousness, you can say it is, because of which only all the three states of experiences are possible. They cannot exist independent of you, right? And definitely, therefore, waker, etc. in that, any ahankara in a given state is nothing but your mithya, your magical manifestation. So, as long as I have ignorance and misconception, I will be either Vishwa, Tejas or Prajna. So, I will go around that only. Saeva Maya Parimohitatma Shariramaasthaya Karoti Sarvam Striyannapanadi Vichitra Bhogaihi Saeva Jivaha Paritruptameti. In Kaivalya Upanishad, 12th mantra discusses that this Jagrit, the Vishwa, Saeva Maya, Sa Paramatma, the Brahman alone, the Atma alone, is Maya Parimohita Atma. Because of the Maya or Ajnanam, Parimohitam. So deluded. Then Shariramastaya, well, identifying with the Sthula Sharira. Karoti Sarvam, does lot of things, right? Running, walking, talking, eating, all kinds of things. Karoti Sarvam. Stri Annapanadi Vichitra Bhogaihi. And in that waking state, various Stri Annapana, etc. All these objects of experiences. Well, with that Saiva Jiva Paritruptameti. That Brahman which is as a Vishwa, as a Jiva, as a waker, well, Paritruptim, enjoying various objects, gets a satisfaction. Then what? Further, Kaivalya Upanishad. Sapne sa jiva sukha dukha bhokta samaya kalpita vishwaloke. Now he is become a dreamer. So sapne, in sapna, sa jiva, now same jiva. That Brahman which is jiva, which has assumed the Vishwa, etc., now has assumed a dreamer. Sukha dukha bhokta. Na karta. Look at that. In the previously it is said, Shariramastaya karoti sarvam. Identifying with the gross body, does lot of things and enjoys also. Stri Annapana adi bhogaihi paritruptim iti. Karta bhokta. Whereas here, now in a dreamer, well, it's a different kind of a thing. Just sukha dukha bhokta. Experiencing various dream objects, had a pleasure, pain, etc. in the dream. He is no more a doer, naturally. Somaya kalpita vishwaloke. Somaya, by his own maya, well, definitely. Kalpita loke, in that dream world, he enjoys, experiences various objects and gain pleasure, pain, etc. And then what? Sushupti kale sakale viline tamo vibhuta sukharupameti punascha janmantara karma yoga saeva jivaha swapiti prabuddha. Right? So basically, sushupti kale, now in a deep sleep state, sakale viline, everything is resolved. All objects, either dream world and this waking world, everything is resolved. Waker, dreamer also is resolved. Resolved means what? Become unmanifest, covered with ignorance. Why but it resolved there? That's a karana. That's a karana. Therefore, karya resolves into karana. And now, well, so, tamobhibhutaha, now becoming prajna, tamobhibhutaha, identifying with the tamaha, overpowered with the ignorance, right? So, identifying with the prajna, sukharupameti, well, I enjoyed in deep sleep state. Punascha, this is what the three states. Turiya is no more. Where Turiya is not, because this is talking about the person who is ignorant. Punascha janmantara karma yoga. Karma yoga, because of the association with the new prarabdha now. Punascha, again, janmantara karma yoga. Well, again gain subtle body and gross body, etc. Saeva jiva. Look at that. Saeva jiva. Swapiti prabuddha. Again it starts on that Vishwataijasa. So this is Kaivalya Upanishad 12, 13, 14, etc. So this is how jiva goes on a merry-go-round all the time. Sapna Jagrat Sushupti, Sapna Jagrat Sushupti. Then give up this body, etc. And then acquire new body, Karma Yoga, etc. So because of the Karma Yoga here means not our karma, but by the association of the karma, new prarabdha. So as long as self-ignorance and misconception are there, I will be one of the three pada only. So if I should claim the fourth pada, well, I should be free from what? Ignorance and adhyasa. So Swamiji, that's what I was telling you. Atma should be made free from ignorance and adhyasa. Atma should not be made. This is mithya. And therefore you should understand that I am free from ignorance and adhyasa. I am just Chidananda, etc. That knowledge drops. What? Adhyasa and ajnana. Not that you have to really I have to make myself free from ignorance. Means both have equal reality and ignorance has covered the Atma. Then where is that? You can never become free. You can never become free from ignorance. That only Ishvara can say. I am. What is the definition of omniscience? Where there is no ignorance. That's what only we can say. We can't say is all knowledge. What is all knowledge? How many knowledges are there? That itself is not there. How can you say all knowledge? So it's not correct. That's how Puja Swamiji says all knowledge, Sarvajna, omniscience means he is free from ignorance. That's it. And therefore, as a jiva, well, definitely, I am jiva because of the ignorance, right? Karana, nidra, etc. And I have to really make myself free from ignorance. Then you can never become. Yeah. Anyway, only understanding oneself that I am just pure consciousness, which is limitless, because of which everything shines, right? There is all exist. The bhokta and bhogyam. Bhokta also is, well, same consciousness, same Atma Sachidananda only with the upadhi. Appears as bhokta, same Sachidananda with the names and forms in the world becomes a bhogyam. So I am basically Sachidananda only, which is free from bhokta, bhogyam, etc. everything. Anyway, so ignorance and adhyasa both are mithya. That is to be understood. Not removing, eliminating, etc. Vishaya, apavada, elimination, negation, etc. is understanding the mithyatvam of that. That shows that you understand your nature also. What is real also you are able to understand. You are able to own it up. Then only you can say they are mithya. And then that is what it means here. So this is the essence of the first half. One who is in this, has a self-ignorance, etc., is a prajna, and well, definitely Turiya is free from that. Now in the second half, Gaudapadacharya says that when a person eliminates this, both of them, this ignorance and misconception, and here the word they have, new word has come now, viparyasa. Viparyasa means, well, which is not real, which is mithya. So when both these things, ignorance and that's how viparyase, it's a dual. Ignorance and misconception both. They are what? Mithya. Ignorance is one unreal factor, misconception also is another unreal factor. Kshine tayoho viparyase kshine. So both of them are kshine, both of them are negated, understood mithya. Then means understanding that I have no ignorance, really speaking, I am a Turiya who is free from ignorance and free from misconception. Then definitely Nanta Pragnam, Nabahishpragnam, etc. So then, well, one can claim that I am free from both of them because I am just Turiya. And what will help in that? Ignorance has certain reality you experience, etc. And therefore, Adhyasa also enjoys certain reality as a mithya, etc. How will you remove them? Well, removing here in terms of gaining knowledge of the self, that what you are really. More you understand yourself, more you will understand the mithyatvam of the ignorance and adhyasa. That is, more you understand the mithyatvam of the vishvataijasa, and more you understand the mithyatvam of prajna also, either. So Turiya Jnanam, that's Atma Jnanam, etc. will eliminate Turiya Jnanam, because that way they cannot exist together. They both have the same order of reality. So this is the essence of the Karika. Let's go see now the Bhashya. Sapna Jagaritayoho Anyatha Rajvam Sarpavad Vrnnatah Tattvam Sapnaha Bhavati Nidra Tattvam Ajanatah Trishushu Avasthashu Tulya Sapna Nidrayoho Tulyatvat Vishwataijasvayoho Ekarashitvam Anyatha Grahana Pradhanyacha Gunabhuta Nidra iti तस्मिन् विपर्यासः स्वप्नः। तृतीये तु स्थाने तत्व अग्रहण लक्षणा निद्रा एव केवला विपर्यासः. Simple actually. So स्वप्न जागरितयोः, Bhashyakara says, in the waking and dream state, it's a 7/2. Saptami vibhakti dvivachanam. So swapna jagritayoho means in the waking and dream state, अन्यथा गृह्णतः तत्वम, turiya, अन्यथा गृह्णतः, and we know, so अन्यथा गृह्णतः means mistaking what? Tattva, mistaking turiya. In these two states, waking and dream, what happens is tattvam anyatha gृह्णतः, the turiya is mistaken as what you know, as a Vishwa and Taijasa, etc. So I mistake the turiya as Vishwa in a waking state. I mistake the turiya as a Taijasa in a dream state. So this is a little order we have to understand. Rajvam Sarpavit is an example, so you keep it out. So Sapna Jagaritayoho Tattvam Anyatha Grihna. Anyatha you have to take it with Grihnatah. Anyatha Grahana, you know very well. So Sapna Jagaritayoho Tattvam Anyatha Grihnatah. Grihnatah is a Panchami Vibhakti here. So Tasil Pratyaya is in the sense of the fifth case. Because of the misconception of Tattvam, of the Turiya of oneself, well, definitely Anyatha Grihnata. So because of that, well, definitely one takes oneself as a Vishwa Taijasa. That we have to supply. An example is what? Rajvam Sarpavat. So like mistaking the rope as a snake. Same way I mistake in a waking myself Turiya as Baker, Vishwa. And in a dream, well, I mistake myself or mistake Turiya as a dreamer, Taijasa. So Bhashyakara gives this example, Rajvam Sarpavat. So you can even take it as we are not using the word, but I am trying to reconcile here, and therefore you can use ahankara also. Same thing. Vishwa Taijasa Prajna ahankara only. Individuality. So this individuality is a misconception. Earlier we said Jiva Bhava. And this misconception is called what here? Sapna. I already told you. Misconception is called Sapna. So this is a Gaudapadacharya's vision. Waking state is one Sapna, another type of dream only, and our Sapna is Sapna only. Because it's a misconception. Therefore, it's not reality. That is what happens. Dream is whole dream world is what? Projection. Simply projection. Right? Projection upon oneself. Right? And therefore it is basically what? Adhyasa only, projection. And so in Sapna, Adhyasa is there already. So in here also it is Adhyasa. How can you say it is Adhyasa? Because if you know Turiya, then this waking also is a projection upon waking world, both projection, Bhokta, Bhogyam, projection upon Turiya only. Therefore it is Sapna only. So according to Gaudapada Ji, only waker is a Jnani. Others, they are all other people, basically all Ajnanis are dreamers only. They remain in this dream. Either they will have a dream number 1, like in waking state, or they have a dream number 2. And they roam between them, these two. And then they get tired, and then they will have a sleep. And so dream number 1 and dream number 2, and definitely dream, and it is all the time associated with what? Ignorance, means sleep. Could you follow? Like that dream state comes where once you sleep. So it is associated, that dream, so-called our dream experience, is associated with the what? Sleep, right? And so here also both the states, we call Swapna. Why? Because associated with sleep. Which sleep? Ignorance, Nidra. And therefore, where the Karya is, the Karana must be there. That's what we say. When the misconception is there, then ignorance also is there. So Nidra is there. So therefore, waking state also is a Sapna number 1, so dream is Sapna number 2. and they roam. Our jivas basically, the Ajnanis roam here, and then they sleep. Then also their Karanabadha, that will remain. So only waker is this Turiya Jnani. So Anisha Sarva Bhutanam Tasyam Jagrati Sanyami Yasyam Jagrati Bhutani Sa Nisha Pashyado Munehi. Where this Jnani wakes up, the others are sleeping. And when others are where they are waking up, there this person is sleeping. Right? For this Dvaita Prapancha, for the Dhyasa and the ignorance. And there these Ajnanis are waking that. They are experiencing that. Means they are taking as real. They are waking up means they take it as a real. There this Jnani is sleeping. He doesn't see this duality. Doesn't see means he doesn't give a reality to this duality. Duality means waking world, dreamer, dream world. All Adhyasa only. All Sapna. So there he is sleeping as though. And where he has woken up, well, there others are sleeping. To that Advaita Tattva, Turiya Tattva, he is awake, he has woken up to that. Understood himself as Turiya. And therefore their Ajnanis are sleeping. They don't know this Turiya at all. So therefore Uttishtata, Jagrata, Prapya, Varannivota, Kathopanishad also. Uttishtata, Jagrata, wake up, etc. Rise, wake up, all that. So he says Sapna. So ignorant person experiences definitely Sapna number 1 and Sapna number 2 in form of a individuality. I am individual, etc. is Sapna only, Jiva Bhava. And Nidra, where the sleep is Tattvam Ajanata. Look at the Bhashakara says Tattvam Ajanata. One who is just ignorant of the reality of the Turiya. That is called Nidra. So whoever is spiritually ignorant, he is in sleep. Whoever is spiritually ignorant he is asleep, we can say. So Shankaracharya ji carefully adds this, sleep is there. In which state sleep is there? Well, sleep is there during deep sleep state. Generally we think that way. But we should understand sleep is there in all the 3 states. Okay? Ignorance is there in all the 3 states. Even if you don't declare that you are a deep sleeper, naturally you cannot declare. But you woke up, then if you ask, you will say, I was in a deep sleep. Then you take yourself as a deep sleeper. That experience, which there you narrate after waking up, that you were a deep sleeper. That's how you will say. Therefore, that shows that ignorance is there. Of course, in Vishwa, Tejasa, that our Adhyasa is there, therefore ignorance is there. So, deep sleep state is there all the time, as per Mandukya. Yeah, 2 states where Sapna is there. Waking state and dream state, both are Sapna number 1 and Sapna number 2. But they are associated with ignorance only. When you say I am a Vishwa, definitely ignorance is there. I am Tejasa, definitely ignorance is there. And so definitely Nidra is there. And deep sleep state, of course, you even if when you may not declare at that time, but when you woke up, you said, I had that deep sleep. So I was a deep sleeper, etc. So that is same thing. Ignorance is still there. Nobody claims after waking up from the deep sleep state, nobody claims that I am Turiya, right? So definitely that ignorance is still there. So Trishushu api vasthasu, Bhashakara says. So Tattvam Ajanataha means for the one who doesn't know the Tattvam of a Turiya, the root truth of the Turiya, truth is that I am a Turiya, etc. Well, so definitely Nidra is all the time there. Trishushu api vasthasu. In all the 3 states, we are all asleep. 2 states of a deep sleep state, 2 states of a dreams, and 1 state of a deep sleep. But really speaking, all the 3 states are associated with Nidra. There cannot be dream without deep sleep, right? As such. Anyway, so here ignorance is a Nidra and misconception is a Sapna. And definitely, ignorance is there in all the 3 states. Therefore, in all the 3 states, person is, as the Ajnani is called, he is sleeping. And he has a dream only in 2 states, waking and dream. So, so-called dream is also a dream sleep. So-called waking also is a dreamful sleep. And sleep is a dreamless sleep. That's how we have to say. So, Trishushu Avasthasu. Trishushu. So, you can understand Avastha being a feminine word. So, Trisushu. If it is a Pullinga, Trishu. But here, Trisushu. So, Tisraha is a feminine word. From that, Saptami Vibhakti is Trisushu. Sorry. So, Trisushu Avasthasu, which is what is common in all the three states, is a Nidra. Waking is not there at all. Only Jnani has a waking state. So, in the vision of Vedanta, we are all sleepwalkers basically, somnambulist. Anyway, so I will keep up to this. I have some. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.